Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you how to make your own homemade whole milk ricotta cheese. It's so easy that once you learn how, you'll never go buy it from the store again. We're getting started with a 4-liter jug of whole milk, and the one that I'm using is from a local dairy. And then we're going to be putting this into a stainless steel pot. You do not want to use aluminum. We're getting this started on a medium-high heat, and we're going to be stirring this constantly. I'm getting ready a half a cup of lemon juice. I use bottled. And then I'm also getting ready a bowl with a strainer. And I like to use a flour sack towel. I'll have some of the items that I use listed below if you're interested. And we need to stir this milk continuously, and we're getting it up to 180 degrees. I like to use a digital thermometer because it's very accurate. And we're just going to keep stirring it until it reaches 180. Once we get the milk up to 180 degrees F, we're going to turn the heat off and add the lemon juice. It's going to take around half to 2/3 of a cup of lemon juice, and you want to be able to see the separation of the curds from the whey. So if it doesn't quite look separated, I add a little bit more lemon juice until I can clearly see that separation occur. Now we're removing it from the heat, and we're putting a lid on, and we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes. And then after the 10 minutes is up, we're going to be ladling some of the curds into our flour sack cloth. And the only reason for this is that it does splatter a lot. So I remove some of the curds, and then we're just going to pour the whole thing in and let it strain. My bowl was quite full of whey, and it wasn't going to release any more sitting in there, so I had to remove it to another bowl. And I put a little mason jar beneath my strainer just to give it some added height so that it could strain more whey out. I purchased these soft cheese molds from Amazon. I'll link them down below. And when I first got them, I thought they were so tiny, but they actually work out perfectly, and I really like the assortment of sizes. And the round ones are perfect for my ricotta cheese. And you can replicate this by using an old yogurt container or sour cream container and just punching holes throughout it. So you don't have to purchase this, but it is really nice to have, especially if you want to get into cheese making. Our next step is to salt our cheese curds, and I like to use about 1.5 teaspoons roughly, and I'm using pink Himalayan salt. You can use any kind of salt that you like. We want to incorporate that salt really, really well because this is what's going to add a lot of flavor to your ricotta cheese. And then we're going to be scooping it into our molds. And the molds have these little sort of cuts in them. And that's where the extra whey is going to leak out. And generally, I would let this go anywhere from a couple of hours to overnight. And the longer you leave it, the more whey will come out of it. And I kind of wanted to fast track this process. So what you can do is take the cheese out and flip it around. And this is going to help more of the whey come out. So I did this a couple of times. There are so many things that you can use this ricotta cheese for. I like to put it in stuffed shells. You can also include it in your lasagna, or you can make a dip, or even a cheesecake. There are so many uses. Now, I was really curious how much ricotta cheese I would get, so I decided to weigh it. So I zeroed out the scale so that the container wouldn't be included in the weight, and I compared this to the store prices. I ended up getting 848 grams of ricotta cheese. And this is with a 4-liter jug of milk that costed me around $6.50. And I looked at the store prices, and for 475 grams of ricotta cheese, which is close to half of this amount, it was $8. Considerable savings, I would say. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to my channel. I make videos every week on food from scratch, homemaking, and life on our farm.